Hello everyone, it is I, the Golden Scouta, bringing you another What If discussion, and as usual, it would not be a What If discussion if I did not have Mark from Dragon Ball Dad here with me. How are you doing?
I'm great to be here for kind of our part 2, been looking forward to this one for a while.
Yeah, if you want to see technically part 1, you can check out What If Ten Shinhan remained as the main antagonist after the 22nd tournament. But we're here to discuss what if Piccolo Daimao was never released from the rice cooker. So obviously the two main things is Piccolo Daimao is never a thing, so that arc is just totally scrapped. And again, you could see our version of the 23rd tournament if you want to see that previous video. But the biggest thing I would say moving forward with this is that there's no Piccolo Jr. And as you can tell, Piccolo Jr. had a lot to do with how the main story kind of took place. Like, he abducted Gohan, turned him into a fighter, he sacrificed his life against Nappa, kind of bringing his whole story arc full circle, and he kind of helped fight Frieza a little bit. And just later on, like, he does certain things like fight number 17, which kind of backfire because Cell was able to find him. So those are some things that would change, but just where we left off is we forgot to talk about Goku and Chi-Chi meeting up. I think that that would still happen. The thing with the Dojo of Assassins that people mentioned in the last video, I think that half of them would go with the Suru Senin continuing to be assassins, while the others that are more loyal to Ten Shinhan would stay with him and train with him. So, obviously, we get to the beginning of Z after the 23rd tournament. Goku is kind of settled down, has his kid Gohan, goes over to Kame House in order to visit and kind of catch up with his friends, and Raditz appears. But this time, there's no Piccolo to suggest a team-up, so how would you think that this would start out, Mark?
Well, there's two options here. We could either have Raditz pick up Tien training somewhere on his scouter and have the same sort of thing happen that we see with Piccolo, or Goku could realise that he's that far behind that he has to seek out some help and realise that Tien is the obvious option.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the thing is that Goku is ready to go and fight Raditz with the Muten Roshi and Krillin. So, I don't know. I think at this point maybe Ten Shinhan would kind of go towards Goku just because he might sense that really strong power that Raditz is giving off, and with no Piccolo there, Goku is kind of, I don't know, he has very limited options of what he can do. Because him and Piccolo barely pulled that off, but I think that there's a way that they can all pull it off, and this is how. One thing about the Special Beam Cannon is that it takes a long time to charge, and one of the reasons why Raditz was able to manipulate Goku so easily, so to say, and kind of say, like, oh, you don't want to kill your one and only brother, was because Piccolo was sitting there charging the attack and allowing dialogue to happen. So, one thing about Ten Shinhan and Krillin is that they both have really strong kill moves, so all it would take is just one of them actually firing it at Raditz and killing him. So in this case, I think that in order for this what if to move forward in the most interesting way, I would say that Goku eventually does grab Raditz's tail after a very hard fight, and Ten Shinhan is pretty beat up. I would say that Krillin is kind of out of commission too, and the Muten Roshi as well, but they're both not dead. So I would think that whenever Goku grabs Raditz's tail, the whole thing where Raditz is like, oh, you don't, like, if you stand in the way of this, it'll kill you too, and so Ten Shinhan spills the beans about how there's the Dragon Balls that can grant any wish, and that they'll both be alive very soon. And so Raditz, I would say, right before Ten Shinhan fires the Kikoho that kills all three of them, with Ten Shinhan's life being drained out, I would say at that point Raditz says the exact same thing he told Piccolo, like, my comrades heard exactly what you said, and they're going to be here in a year. And so I think that that's a perfect closeout to that fight. I mean, obviously the biggest thing here is that Gohan, I would probably say that Gohan would do the initial headbutt, but I don't know. I don't think that in this case he would be trained because Piccolo's not there to abduct him, and I don't see Goku training Gohan. I mean, that's just me. What do you think?
Yeah, the fight, as you said, I can see them really pulling off the opportunity for Tien to hit the Tri-Beam, just because Krillin, Roshi, and Goku have so much chemistry and history between them that would make up for the power level of Piccolo being missing. So they could fight smartly using things like after images and whatnot and working together, triple Kamehameha, things like that to get the opportunity to hold his tail. And the Gohan thing, the trouble here is I think Krillin and Roshi would want to train him after seeing his power level, but Chi-Chi may object to that, and none of those guys seem to want to crush Chi-Chi at that point. So Gohan's back with Chi-Chi as I'm concerned. Goku and Tien are off to train in the afterlife, and Krillin would be off to train with Kami as he did in the original.
Yeah, that's actually one thing we need to address is that no, they haven't met Kami at this point, so I think that this would be the perfect time for him to actually be introduced in this story, because one thing about Kami is that he is the guardian of Earth, and those Saiyans are going to come to Earth and destroy it if he doesn't do something or help the Earthlings train or anything like that. So I think that he would meet Goku and Ten Shinhan in the afterlife and go send them off to go train with Kaio. And like you said, I think that Kaio would teach both Goku and Ten Shinhan the Kaioken and the Genki Dama. So we'd have two fighters that are very top tier fighters at this point, not just Goku. So yeah, Ten Shinhan and Goku would actually be able to fight Vegeta like taking turns or something like that, and kind of bringing over to the whole Nappa thing. I think that with how angry Ten Shinhan was with how Chaozu sacrificed his life and it didn't kill Nappa, I mean, one of the things is that Ten Shinhan probably won't get any context about how Chaozu was killed, so he might assume that he was brutally murdered instead of sacrificing himself, and so I think Ten Shinhan at that point would be the perfect candidate to take on Nappa and defeat him.
Yeah, looking at that fight, I don't think our Earthlings stand any chance against Nappa. I mean, Krillin, Yamcha on their own, and Chaozu doesn't look good, does it? And Tien's a much more serious character than Goku. When he arrives seeing everybody dead, he would probably go straight for the kill, which would kind of surprise Vegeta that a non-Saiyan was capable of this.
Oh yeah, and just the whole thing with no Piccolo being there and also no Gohan being there, I just don't see a way that the human characters could actually stall enough for Goku and Ten Shinhan to get there in time. I mean, unless if Kaio actually didn't make the mistake of not calculating the time that it would take for Goku to get back to Earth. So, I mean, at this point, I don't know what Vegeta would do. I mean, we might not get the whole Vegeta killing Nappa if Ten Shinhan ends up doing it, but I think at this point, Vegeta would be furious, and I mean, especially that a Saiyan Elite lost to a low-class Earthling, and I would probably say at this point, it would be revealed that Goku is either just as strong or a tad bit stronger than Ten Shinhan, and that might actually put Vegeta kind of a little bit over the edge, but not quite yet until Goku uses the Kaioken ×3 like in the original story. But I don't know, maybe in this case, since Ten Shinhan would probably be nearby, maybe whenever Goku's charging up to use a Kamehameha against Vegeta, Ten Shinhan could also come in there and kind of do a combined blast, like a Dodonpa or something like that.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That would definitely be effective with both characters using the Kaioken, and that would push Vegeta to unleash his Azuru form, which is where things would get really difficult for our guys.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, maybe Yajirobe would do the exact same thing like before. I mean, that's pretty much the only way this what if could continue, but I would say that after this is done, Goku and Ten Shinhan would be pretty badly wounded. I mean, I don't know if Goku would actually have all of his bones broken just because he was the only one fighting Vegeta solo, so I think that Goku just being that vulnerable is what allowed him to get so badly injured. So at this point, I just think that Ten Shinhan and Goku might have another, I guess, Goku versus... sorry. I guess they would have a whole Goku and Piccolo versus Raditz type deal where Vegeta is just that much more powerful even after reverting back to his regular state, just because, I mean, I definitely see Vegeta putting a lot of damage on those two.
Yeah, it'd have to be smart fighting. It'd be things like, I'll use a Solar Flare while you use a Spirit Bomb, or a Kaioken Kikoho would be a pretty effective attack, but very damaging to TN, so they're not getting out of this damage-free. It's a really kind of hit to the earth, even more so than in the original, with literally pretty much everybody dead or nearly dead. And one major change, if they do get the victory, if it's TN that's hovering over Vegeta at the end, I don't see him kind of listening to Goku and not killing Vegeta.
Yeah, I mean, Ten Shinhan is definitely one of the more, I don't know, no-nonsense type characters, and kind of, I don't know, just because he doesn't have that whole best friendship with Goku like Krillin does, but maybe at this point, after training with him on Kaio's planet for so long, maybe he would have that friendship with Goku, and even though, like, he might listen to Goku, especially if he reminds Ten Shinhan, like, hey, you were an enemy once, and that, I mean, you saw what happened there. But again, with the whole thing about, like, Goku wanting to spare Vegeta, I think that came from Piccolo turning over a new leaf, so I don't know. I kind of agree with what you say that Ten Shinhan might not spare Vegeta, just because, like, he, as far as Ten Shinhan knows, he was the last one converted onto Goku's side.
Yeah, we really need Vegeta for Namek, or else the guys have no hope whatsoever, so maybe we have to keep him alive for the next battle.
Possibly. Maybe just for the sake of this what if, just that Goku and Ten Shinhan are so badly injured that they can't even move, and so Vegeta can escape in that case, and they're allowed to fight another day against him. So it's pretty much how I see the Saiyan Arc actually wrapping up in this what if.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Namek's going to be such a different story. I mean, no Gohan going. Krillin needs to be wished back to go. So there's a lot of work to do before that whole thing comes about.
Yeah, one positive thing though is that Kami would still be alive, so they don't actually have to use the wish to revive Piccolo or anything like that. So, I mean, the main reason why they're going is for Chaozu and Krillin, because at that point they're both dead twice, and the Earth Dragon Balls can't grant the same wish twice. So, I mean, I think that just the whole thing that Kami might know more about Namek than Mr. Popo. I mean, I think that, I don't know, I think that I don't know, it's just, there's a lot that could happen in the next video.
Yeah, we'll work that out for you guys. If you want to see it, let us know in the comment section.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people who want to see a part 3 to this. It'd be named something different, but yeah, guys, make sure you go over to Dragon Ball Dad's channel and hit the subscribe button for more content. He makes a lot of Dragon Ball content, and he's trying to diversify his channel into talking about more general anime, so if you like other anime other than just Dragon Ball, that's another reason to subscribe. But anyways, guys, that's the video for today. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the next video. Have a good one.